Hello, everybody. This is Jamie the D, the Mad Welshman, and
This is the Salted Grump.
wait, fuck. Okay, looks like we're not doing 2-1 hard yet.
And I'm just quietly chuckling under my breath because fuck up.
How did I fuck up that time?
Because I said you did.
There was no other carrier in that lineup.
I know. I mean, technically there was Unicorn, but she's a light carrier. She doesn't count for that. Hello, Hadakaze is a destroyer. I like her.
And she was in Crimson Echoes, so yeah. We dealt with it.
Yep. And then Jamie has to do a whole bunch of... Oh, hi, Nevada. I like it.
But there's one new one, I believe. I'm not sure if it's this build, though.
Well, Hadakaze was a new one.
Suffolk!
The space case. I like her.
Yep.
She is a good character. She is a good heavy cruiser, and she was instrumental in actually hunting down Bismarck to the point where she got involved in Bismarck's final fight.
She did, along with Norfolk.
Well, Norfolk actually had to retreat due to basically running out of fuel on the way.
And that's Lexington.
Lexington is a great carrier. I honestly like her. I just don't use her enough because, well, so many other girls in the fucking game.
Yeah, and Bogue.
Bogue is notable for not only being the name of her class of ships, Bogue-class escort carriers, but for sinking 13 enemy submarines over the course of World War II.
And I just left this in to piss you off.
Lectall is right fucking there, goddammit, you Welsh git!
I do eventually learn that.
Eventually. I mean, it's trying to slap you in the face, man.
Oh, dear. So last time we had subs.
Yep. So, distress signals. These are interesting side missions. They are completely optional, but they are used for giving your submarines, well, experience and equipment.
Yeah. The equipment is drops. It's actually based on which one you do. Now, the interesting thing about distress signals is to unlock the next, you have to have cleared the map ahead of it. And you have to clear the submarine mission. Basically, if you got one at 5, you can't unlock it until you've beaten A, Submission 4, and B, Chapter 7.
That is not entirely accurate to my recall, but basically, another factor is that you have to beat the submission with an S rank.
Yes. Yes, you do. And to be honest, though, that is not really a burden.
It is a burden if you forget to equip sonar.
Yes?
So, the sonar mechanic is that for the most basic equipment in the game, you have to equip it on a girl in the fleet. She'll have a little icon over her head saying that she has it equipped. And as a result of that, every 5 seconds it will ping and reveal every submarine within its range for, if I recall correctly, 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And during that time, you can absolutely stomp an absolute giant hole in, well, everything. Which is pretty good.
Because all ships launch depth charges. Naturally. You can have depth charges as an accessory and it does more damage. Improved depth charges for even more damage. However, all you actually need is the one thing that I don't have right now.
What? You have sonar, that's all you need.
Oh wait, I do! I have sonar on this fleet, at least.
Yeah. Also, one thing to note is that heavy cruisers like Portland and London do not deploy depth charges. They are gunboats. They do not have anti-submarine capabilities.
This totally won't bite me in the ass.
Oh, it's already biting you.
Oh, I'm not taking all that much damage.
Oh, I know. You're not going to take much damage at all. It's just very much a matter of me gently taunting you about it.
Well, the bigger problem is probably when we get to the boss.
And you use the other fleet, which doesn't have sonar on it.
Yeah.
Should I point and laugh now, or should I point and laugh then?
Oh, wait, no. It might have sonar. It might have sonar. If it has sonar, it's fine, because that's Laffy Fleet.
Well, yeah. It's full of destroyers.
Yeah. We'll talk about that when we actually see the boss, though.
Oh, minor bit of fun trivia. I see I have Warspite in the back line there, being MVP as usual. A interesting historical note is that when she was deployed to Narvik in 1940 to destroy basically 1/3 of Germany's destroyer flotilla, the Warspite had a float plane deployed as reconnaissance, and that plane proceeded to bomb a submarine, which then became credited as the first submarine to be killed by a battleship in World War II.
Huh.
That is
Dame has done everything, it seems.
That is also why Warspite has an anti-submarine warfare stat after her retrofit is complete.
I only got her retrofit earlier this week.
Well, yeah, it took you a while to get her sword.
Yeah, well, there is that, and there's the fact that I was all out of gold bullets after the most recent event.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But I did it! I did the thing I wanted to do! And now I'm not doing it for the Scherzo event.
You will.
No, I'm not.
You will.
I've proven to myself I can do it, and now I'm not doing it.
But if you do it, and the rerun pops up, you don't have to do it a second time.
Yeah, I can do parts of it by then.
As Jamie is showing in this actual boss fight, the boss, the submarine I-19, which is the semi-translucent kitty hiding underneath the massive pile of ships and such that are being slung at him, is, well, a bit elusive. But the thing about it is that the boss fight will only end when she gets taken down. And she'll
keep sending ships.
She'll keep sending reinforcements, including heavies like the battleship Mutsu there, who is going to absolutely wreck face.
More importantly, she is ultra weak to depth charges, but I only have one of those.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of blindingly obvious as to why a submarine would be weak to depth charges. You have seen Das Boot, after all. Speaking of in the most recent event, the Scherzo rerun, U-96 was introduced, and that is the submarine that was in that movie.
So, I think I did still manage to get an S, but without sonar, you will get an A at best.
Yeah, what
the submarine will wait until the time runs out before she surfaces.
Essentially, the submarine will wait until 121 seconds to surface if you don't have sonar. And you have to beat the mission in less than 120 seconds to get an S rank on top of don't lose any buddies and so on and so forth. So, it adds up.
Okay, this time... So this time... They're both on commission. Well, fuck.
You said I was gonna laugh at you. You were not wrong.
Yeah. And I let the number of cubes go to my... Oh, hello there.
Ah, yes. U-81, who is basically the best sub in the game, and is even better with a team-up of other U-boats because of her specific class buff.
Yep, her wolf pack skill.
We discussed this in the thread, but the Wolfpack skill is a additive buff, where for every U-boat that a U-boat is deployed with, they get up to 6 or 7% additional firepower and reload speed. And that adds per U-boat, so it counts for the one that already is, i.e. the one with the skill, and then up to 2 buddies. So that adds up. It's kind of terrifying when you think about it.
So, right now, all I'm really doing is trying to get people to 30.
Yeah, so I saw you click on Saratoga.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, the dorm doesn't count.
True.
And yeah, that early game, I have way too much fuel. Oh, I miss those days.
Yeah, you're well over your soft cap of 4,100, and you have a full stock hiding in the reserve, so you can't do much with anything with that. And so you jump straight into 4-1.
Yep. Where you can see that we're not quite leveled.
Yeah, this is about when the game starts looking at the kid gloves and saying, okay, I'm just gonna start peeling these off now.
Yep. So this is, there was actually a title for this, and it was Solomon's... No, I got it. Solomon's Nightmare. Part 1.
Well, it's kind of understandable because the battlefield around the Solomons, which was an extensive and long-term major source of woe for everyone involved, really, was very much a total bloodbath, and calling it green hell is a bit of an understatement. Most notably, part of the Solomons, the area formerly known as Savo Sound, is now known as Iron Bottom Sound.
You do all the ships sunk there.
Yep. It was basically the area where the Japanese Navy was bled dry of experienced ships and crews. Not that the American Navy had it easy there either. The first 3 ships that were sunk in Savo Sound before it was renamed Iron Bottom were all American.
Now, which ships were those again?
Those would be Astoria, Quincy, and Vincennes.
Oh, yeah!
Which is, incidentally, why those 3 in-game have the lowest luck scores, even lower than the priority research girls, which start with a luck score of 0, but can upgrade that.
We'll be getting to them at some point in the future.
Yeah, priority research is very much a end-game process, so this is the sort of thing that you talk about when you're discussing long-term plans in the game, and not short-term, oh shit, I need this now.
Yeah,
please punch her in the face.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Trust me, I want to punch the cat as much as anyone, but Kako keeps stepping in front.
Hey, it's just like history.
666! Yes!
Yeah, and Oklahoma for MVP because she is a good egg.
She really is. Treasure Fleet.
Treasure fleets are relatively uncommon, at least in my experience, because I'm an unlucky bastard when it comes to treasure fleets, but they're always useful for a laugh. Also, I keep forgetting just how damn pretty that promo art of Illustrious is.
Yeah, it really is. We need to use that at some point.
Well, I mean, I'm doing a history post shortly. That should cover it. You'll have to dig up a copy, though.
Well, it's probably in the wiki,
Yeah, probably.
because I actually got the image of Suikaku and Shokaku even, from that wiki. It's got an entire page dedicated to loading screens.
Yeah, it's not an official wiki, actually, because obviously it was made before the game was released in English and all that, but it's surprisingly comprehensive, and it's pretty much been the go-to of information for just about everyone that I know of who plays the game, including myself, really.
Yeah, I've found it hella useful. I've got an alright team, and I think this fleet stays entirely static.
I mean, to be fair, it's a pretty solid fleet. I mean, it only costs 41 fuel and it kicks ass.
That 41 fuel is not gonna last.
I know. I have a fleet with 3 frontliners and 1 backliner, setting me back at 53 fuel right now.
Meanwhile, I'm the dumb fuck who has all frontliners and all backliners and is paying 70 fuel if he uses his main fleet.
Well, to be fair, if you're going after, say, a boss area that you haven't finished clearing yet, you want that main fleet there to absolutely ruin shit. You take the truncated fleet for farming.
Yeah. Oh. There we go.
I see Renown is living up to her name. No, that's not Renown, that's Repulse.
Yeah, that's Repulse.
Official motto, and hi, Shiranoi.
Yeah! We love this shopkeeper.
She's a sass monster.
And I love the little touch of how her stack is like a tea or coffee maker.
Well, kind of makes sense, considering the fact that she is, in-game, she is essentially portrayed as a combination Shrine Maiden / Ghost.
But she'll debunk your opinion of her as a ghost. They're props. She's cosplaying, remember?
True. All told, the official reason why she operates the in-game coin shop is because she uses her wages to buy treats for her sisters, because she is the second of 19 destroyers. The Kagero class was the most extensive class of destroyer used by Japan in World War II. And honestly, if I recall correctly, pretty much every last one of them got wrecked.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I think Yukikazu is one of them. Never mind. Not all of them!
Sorry, I should rephrase that. Wahaha! Oh, Yukikazu.
I had an effort post for her. Jamie still hasn't put it up yet.
Is that for Vida or Crimson Echoes?
Neither. You decided to hold off on her.
Oh, yeah, because I wanted to hold off. I can't remember when we got it.
Yeah, it was somewhere in the Brat showcase. I think it was day 7 or...
Oh, that's why. But I wanted to write about Yukikaze because I was feeling rather strongly about the character.
And then it turns out that, well, my nickname of Luck Vampire for her is surprisingly apropos.
Yeah. I remember why. It's because I had to listen to 53 wahahas in a row.
The best punishment I've ever given you is telling you to download all the character voices in this game.
You're gonna suffer with me.
Oh, please. You think I haven't suffered already? I went in blind. I downloaded the character voices first, and then I got nailed with Long Island.
Oh, we gotta hear Long Island when that time comes. Over and over and over again.
Yeah,
She's currently my flagship.
Yeah, it's not so much the line, it's how she draws it out. It grates on the ear.
She has a very creepy voice.
Oh, it's not even creepy. She's very much playing at it. It's just very much a case of some people like her, some people hate her, and the voice is extremely conscientious as a result.
Yeah.
I see Suzu is still giving you problems.
Yeah. I actually got her on main yesterday.
Yeah, don't forget to retrofit her.
I won't. Believe you me, I'm very... I'm very aggressive when it comes to retrofits. Right, let's kick the shit out of this girl.
God damn it, Alba.
Planes, all the planes, do the thing, Long Island, you didn't do the thing.
And you got a free laugh.
I do! I mean, a spare Laffy is always nice.
Yep, because, well, hey, that saves you a pudding.
Yeah. So, that's 4-1. And obviously, I do eventually go back into it.
Yep, as we mentioned in the last major story video, the simple fact is that due to shenanigans and calumny, the actual cutscenes for 4.1 and onwards have not yet been fully implemented into the game. So, well, they're just kind of...
Okay, ready. We're gonna do it this time. Right, we got that one. Fuck!
Just watching you wiggle the mouse around in frustration is...
Oh, no. I was wiggling it to highlight. God fucking
yeah. But the frustration is there. Okay, so this is, well, the dailies and all that. So, Fierce Assault is the boss rush.
The important thing is, this is the Sunday dailies.
Which means everything in their baby shows up.
Yeah. So, I forgot if we did Fierce Assault. You told me I did Fierce Assault, but we're doing it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, better to just show them all off in one lump because it's a Sunday and, well, it's the Sunday showcase.
I didn't do that.
Hey, look on the bright side, you get to blow up Alba immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, she just melts on level 25.
Yeah, Tsukaku's putting up a fight at level 30, but that's to be expected when you're level 35-ish.
Yeah, but on top of that, Tsukaku... Oh my god, she has so many hit points.
Well, it's not just that, it's also the fact that, well, there's only 8 health bars between on her, so she really isn't that bad. It's just you got caught in between reload cycles for the main guns, so nothing was blinking except for the secondaries.
Every time I faced her, she's had a bundle of hit points.
Well, that's because she's lucky. You never get a critical hit on her.
Yeah, true. Anyway, that's a very brief one. I avoided the bomb ships, because honestly, bomb ships just annoy me. Excuse me? I didn't show all of these, did I? I probably did.
If you did,
Nope.
You did. If you didn't, you didn't.
Yeah,
so the bomb ships, the advanced mission, it's very much 90 seconds to blow up bomb ships. Try not to have your fleet shot out from under you. It's honestly forgettable, but the big reward is, well, the fact that it gives out skill books. It's the only thing that gives out skill books reliably.
Yep. The shop will sometimes have them, the merit shop will sometimes have them, the exchange will sometimes have them, but meanwhile, haha, hello, it's escort time.
Torpedo beats! So yeah, escorting is, bluntly, it's essentially a combination of dodge this shit and damage race, because you can actually chew through enough hit points to destroy those things.
You can, but not at this level.
I mean,
Like if you're a level 70 doing this, huh?
Yeah, at maximum level, I can chew through 7 of the 9 torpedo ships at level 9 with 65,000 hit points pop. But that's because I use Formidable.
No. I've been able to do that too with my not 120. It's not common, but it happens. I will always get at least 3 of them.
Well, yeah, it's just pure catharsis for being able to blow shit up and, well, ruin the torpedo spread.
Yeah. I mean, it's catharsis for everything that happened before now. Now, the fun thing about these is that you can theoretically get a load of experience for doing it with level 1s.
You can also theoretically cheese it.
Yeah?
Yeah. All you have to do is hide in the top left corner and dodge the torpedoes aimed directly at you.
Yeah, fair.
And I saw that again.
Yeah. That makes, what, the 3rd time? 4th?
3rd.
So, back in Chapter 1. Hello, Kagi and Kaga. We're gonna kick
I see you're on
out.
hard difficulty because they're level 30.
Yeah, because I couldn't do the 2-1. Each hard level has its own requirements.
And hey, look at that, you got a free renown.
So, finally, we have both of them.
Yep. Renown is, well, very much like her sister, only she's all about the attacking, while her sister, Repulse, is, well, she retaliates by reloading faster.
Yep. There is another one we get, but I can't remember where. I think this is still... Oh. By the way, we're at day 6 now, just so you know.
Yep, so it's been 2 days now of shenaniganery. Ah! Wakaba! She is an adorable little ship.
She is adorable, and you know what? For this update, I'm gonna post that video of Wakaba going fucking ham on a nut.
Damn right you are. It's absolutely fucking hilarious. And hey! It's Edinburgh, Belfast's older sister. She has a tragic story, so we'll talk about that eventually.
Yeah, but also she has quite the complex regarding her sister.
I mean, can you blame her?
And yeah, this actually might have been in the Crimson Echoes video, but it needed to be here because this is the time, this is the day we got them, and their main ships. So I think this was A2.
Yep. Hello, California.
California's nice.
Yep. She's a lot nicer than her sister, too.
Mm. Ah, yes. A deer for targets.
Yep. Every once in a while, they just clump up like that, and then a well-placed artillery blast or just some heavy bombs will cause all sorts of shenanigans.
Yep. Hello, Shropshire.
Yeah. Shropshire is, for whatever reason, she's not very popular in the overall fandom because she's just, well, there. But she has I like her. She's got history to her, and she is very well-traveled.
Yeah. And on top of that, she's not nearly as ditzy as she pretends. So, yes, PR ships. We finally got theoretical research done. There's just everything else.
Yep. 1 down, 8 to go, and that includes accumulating 3 million experience.
Yep. It's not the
It's a
worst
pain in the ass.
experience requirement, though.
Yeah, the worst is Friedrich de Grosso with 3.6 million experience, German backline only.
And, yeah, there's not many of them.
At the time, the only permanent German backline that was not event only was Zeppi, which is Baby Graf Zeppelin.
Yeah. I still haven't got to.
She's an adorable little shit, but, well, she's still a little shit.
I mean, she's iron-blooded, of course she's a little shit.
The funny thing is that she's better at Project Fuck Your Wave than the actual monitors are.
Huh.
Well, the long and
Now
short...
you say that.
The long and short version is that Zeppi, because of the fact that she was designed with 16 6-inch guns and a dozen 4-inch guns for self-defense, she actually outguns some light cruisers. Actually, some pairs of light cruisers. And as a result of that, in-game, she essentially buffs her firepower 3 times over during the course of a 24-second stretch, and then proceeds to blast everything downrange with an absolute fuck-off huge barrage every 24 seconds.
So that's 2.5 times you do it generally.
Yep. The big thing is that every 8 seconds her firepower gets an 80-point buff, which is absolutely stupid because, well, her natural firepower goes from light cruiser equivalent to battleship equivalent.
She's a badass, is what we're saying.
Yep. Mind, she is also incredibly high-pitched and squeaky, so shield your ears.
I don't have that luxury when I'm recording.
My evilness knows no bounds.
Oh, it's okay. You are going to suffer with me. And I know you already suffer. Now,
Are you certain?
Yeah. I believe we mentioned this before, but these treasure fleets that you get through random tiles don't count against the fleet total.
That's right. The fleet total only counts by actual enemy fleet spawns. So anything that pops up as a random target spawn or an ambush does not count for the final tally if you're trying to 3-star a map. Which can be wildly frustrating.
Yeah. Right now, it's not.
Hello, Megami. Still unlucky.
Yeah, poor Megami.
We talked about her in the thread. She is pretty much cursed, and it is really sad as a result. I mean, we're talking about someone that not only inadvertently rammed 3 allied ships over her career, and nearly got blown up multiple times, but also got shot at by her own superior vessel in the fleet because of a case of mistaken identity in her last action.
Yeah. There are many ships in this game we just feel sorry for. And then there's Alba.
Yeah, nobody likes Alba. I think the only ship that would get more hate than Alba would be either USS Despatch or, what's it called? The Japanese submarine I-8, which is officially banned from ever appearing in AL, as per word of the developer.
Nasty ship.
As for USS Despatch, she was formerly USS Boston, and she was responsible for overthrowing the Kingdom of Hawaii.
Imperialism at it again, I see.
Manifest Destiny! Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm assuming from the I-8 thing that it was an awful enough ship, crew, what have you, that even the AL devs went, nope.
The AL devs went nope. The Kantai Collection devs went, hey, look, it's War Crimes Chan!
Hey.
Yes, I am going to plant my boot in Kantai Collection's ass as often as I possibly can. And they're gonna like it.
You'll get a lot of chances. So yeah,
Yeah,
as you can see, it didn't impact this one. However, after this, I believe we start getting full 10s to clear.
Yeah, I mean, if I saw it correctly on this map, it was, well, you had already just fully cleared it beforehand. This was just showing off for showing off's sake.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, wait, I think I've not quite gotten the requirement, as you sometimes do.
Yeah, every once in a while you have a map with something odd, like, say, 17 to sink, but only 6 fleets show up, so you have to come through 3 times, even if you get a full clear on the map on the second try. Because you only need the boss fleet twice.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing happens relatively often. While some people will advise just backing out and retreating and eating the fuel cost, I prefer to actually just take out the boss fleet anyway, because the experience is always nice for the girls.
Yeah, that's my opinion too. There's no point in just not doing it.
And usually the boss has some good rewards and such, like, say, equipment blueprints and similar.
Yeah,
like, as you can see, you're on 3 stars already. You don't actually have to kill any of these extra fleets.
But especially at this point, I need the XP.
Right, because that's what's gonna bite you in the ass.
Yeah. This is during the Crimson Echoes event. I finished the Crimson Echoes event. Thank you. I finally managed to get control. Yeah, I finished the Crimson Echoes event on the very last day.
Yeah, it's an event that, if you're not prepared for it, and a lot of new players are never going to be prepared for their first 2 or 3 events, it will absolutely run roughshod over you. And there's nothing that we can really do about that. The developers have actually reduced the fleet sizes and fleet levels for the English release in the first place already, so...
Yeah. Basically, don't expect to do your first event. Your second, maybe.
Your second, maybe. Your third, you're damn near guaranteed, unless you're going to go for something stupid like the EX stage, which is invariably bragging rights.
Yeah. I have yet to try for an EX stage.
Well, let's put it this way. Your typical enemy in an EX stage is level 120.
Yeah. So that'll be relatively soon if I have the fuel.
78% chance to obtain.
Fail. Now, you can go into a boss fight with 0 fuel if you're hideously overleveled. We're not.
0 ammunition. Going into anything with 0 fuel just means you can't actually start the fight.
No.
Yeah. With 0 fuel, you cannot actually fight because the game will not allow you to engage the battle, because the battle cost is, well, per battle, right? With
No.
0 ammo. With 0 ammo.
Oh, yeah. 0 ammo. Sorry. Yes. I talk good.
Yes, you also think good, like caveman.
Ugh, me wave vape stick.
Uh-huh. Well, you're the first true caveman I know that likes a robot penis, so...
By the way, also in the thread will be Little Renown, even though we're not going to get her for a long time.
Little Renown is... she's basically the 2020 Children's Day celebration character. Every year, Azur Lane has, to celebrate Children's Day in Japan and China, releases a handful of essentially, well, munchkinized versions of various ship girls. In 2019, it was an absolute double handful, actually.
Yeah. Wasn't there an event to do with that?
It was, yes, because 3 of them got lost in the port.
And on top of that, there's the story of their creation.
Which is essentially, this is what happens when Akashi and Yubari salvage a Siren's laser cannon and use it to try and get a mass spectrography of the inside of a wisdom cube.
Yeah.
And the very first incident of that ended up with Belfast being caught in the blast, and then there's a Little Belfast.
Little Belle is so cute.
Little Belle is absolutely goddamn adorable, and I will hear no denial of that. The fun thing about Little Belle is that she actually has a minor heal skill for the entire fleet. It's not a good heal skill, but it's kind of nice.
And of course, I did an art based on a jokey conversation we had.
Elegance? Belch!
Yeah! Oh, Little Belle is so elegant.
So yes, here's something nice. When you 3-star a map, you will always get gems.
And the further along you get in the main campaign maps, the more gems.
Yep, up to about 150 here or thereabouts, which is pretty sizable, really, because 60 gems is roughly equivalent to $1 US. So, about the equivalent to $2.50. It adds up. Hey, Pen!
Pennsylvania. The woman who, as I recall, hated islands out of existence.
Yeah, her kill board in 1944 had 12 bombers, 3 fighters, and 12 islands. Pennsylvania spent the entirety of World War II getting revenge for the destruction of her little sister at Pearl Harbor by absolutely systematically destroying entire islands that were occupied by Japanese forces.
Yeah.
I mean, she was nicknamed Old Falling Apart at the Battle of Guam, where she basically expelled so much ammunition that accompanying ships were worried that she would shake herself apart.
I'm just trying to think what ships in here I've got. Probably all of them. Except Tone.
Yeah, Tone and Chikuma are... They are... What's the term I'm looking for? Sorry about this, my brain's rambling at the moment. Yeah, they are extant in the game. They actually have full avatars and all that that are deliberately shown in shadowed form at the start of the game. But they are also, well, not collectible at this point in time. It's eventually going to be the case, but they will probably be reworked before then. Because they were interesting designs, really. We'll talk about that sometime in the thread.
Yeah. I really wish I'd... Oh, ammo +1. That's always welcome.
Yes, it is. The only time it's not welcome is when you already have a full stack of ammo and you accidentally click on it.
Oh god, yeah. Always destroy at least one fleet before you hit a random.
Because ammo +1 does not put you over your cap of 5 out of 5.
I have done this, and it is irritating as fuck, especially because it was a more than 10 to clear.
Yep, that'll happen. And
oh yeah, that's
for fun, in any way.
Like I said, 0 ammo makes sense when you are hideously over-leveled.
Yep. And of course, there's the advantage that being hideously overleveled is, well, kind of useful anyway, because there's just so much stuff to do. And doing it with less girls because they're hideously overleveled and can absolutely destroy shit is always a good thing.
Yeah. However, if you're not hideously overleveled, zero ammo is a very bad thing. We've discussed that previously.
Yeah, it's again to reiterate, again to reiterate, when you're out of ammo, your entire fleet has a minus 50% malice to all attacks. All damage done, regardless of the type of attack. Torpedo, artillery, plane, whatever. 50% off. It can be mitigated, mostly by level difference, but it's just very much a matter of,
And on top of that, you take more damage.
You actually don't take more damage, it's just, well, you don't take more damage per shot, it's through the time spent. What can I say? I had to clarify. Ish.
Yeah. And there will come a time in the future where you're only really doing manual when you're clearing something new.
Or then there's me with my fleet of absolute fuel-gobbling ass kickers. Automatic.
Well, yeah. But that's very, very, very late in the game.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, considering the level spread that you have, Jamie, and the average level spread of the enemy fleets, right now, I would suggest that if you wanted to go automatic only for whatever reason and just let your brain vegetate instead of actually focusing on the game, you would probably be best suited by just sitting on 3-4 until you're about level 50.
Yeah, pretty much. Whereas that is exactly not what I'm doing.
You're just pushing ahead as hard as you can until something breaks your face.
Funnily enough, something did break my face. But it wasn't the campaign.
Oh, let me guess, it was the shares of Iron and Blood.
No! No, that's been perfectly fine, actually. No, it was a War Archive I was doing at the time.
Oh yes, I remember you grumbling about that. The War Archive going, hey, look, it's a Jamie smack!
Yeah! Yeah, some of the bosses in that are bullshit.
You did not expect it.
Like, I actually like the characters of Issei and Hyuga, but fuck their boss fight.
That's a good fight. I remember that one.
It was not a good fight. It was
Well,
a
it was
steamroll.
Yeah. It was a steamroll in my favor.
It wasn't in mine.
And what did you learn?
Level harder.
Also, 2 battleships with 175% main gun efficiency are mean.
They really fucking are. Not the meanest trick they pulled.
The meanest trick was the goddamn seaplanes with 1,000-pound bombs.
Yeah, there's that. But there's also one in the campaign, I can't remember which area, where they've got 3 ships totally blocking off the boss and they don't move. And
Oh yes, that would be every map after basically 9-1.
No.
Yes.
They don't do that in 9.
Are you certain?
Yes.
I actively poke 9-1 for hard mode and destroyer blueprints, because destroyer blueprints are always the ones you're going to be short on the most.
This is true. There are a lot of destroyers, and a lot of them have retrofits.
I did the math a while back, and there's something along the lines of 40 destroyers that can be retrofit over the course of the game, and it adds up. A lot.
Meanwhile, you will be swimming in carrier blueprints.
Oh, it's not carrier blueprints you'll be swimming in, it's the battleship blueprints. Because, well, there's only a total of 6 battleships that need retrofits in the entire game so far.
And 2 of them, you can only full retrofit. Sorry, 1 of them you can only full retrofit with an item. Sister Sarah is a carrier, is she not?
Yes. So,
Oh, wait, no, it's Sandy!
The 6 battleships, with the exception of Warspite, that you can retrofit, are Fuso, Yamashiro, Ise, Hyuga, Nevada, and Oklahoma.
I like Oklahoma's retrofit.
Nevada and Oklahoma are both good ships. They are good characters. I like both of them. And considering Oklahoma's history, well, the reason why she is essentially smitten head over heels with the commander in-game is because the commander is letting her do what she had been built to do but never got the opportunity to do. Pearl Harbor was extremely unkind to the poor girl, and unlike Arizona, while she was salvaged, she was deemed completely unrepairable.
Yeah.
And yeah, I see your fleet getting chewed up by the massive wall of aviation and bomb ships that you're dodging.
Yeah. Yeah. Thankfully, I believe this is the last one with Warspite. I've left Laffy Fleet in reserve.
Well, I mean, when it comes down to it, the game only really warns you about a ship's health when they're below 20%, so...
Yeah. It will also only let you repair them, except with that special item, when they're over 20%.
Yeah, and of course you get 1 freebie of the emergency repair per day. There's a total of 4 uses of the emergency freebie, well, the emergency repair, but the 3 uses after the freebie are all 100 gems a pop, and, well, who's going to spend real money on this? Essentially, if you've had a ship basically get sunk in a battle, it's just a morale hit. It's not something absolutely punishing. It's just a matter of take a step back, do some easier missions for a while, get some levels.
Yeah. And morale, unless you're getting sunk constantly, is not a big factor. I have hit not quite unhappy before.
Yeah, the game will actually show you morale icons when the girls are at about 45 points, which is just their threshold above when they go from okay to slightly unhappy. And after that point, well, there's still no loss. You actually only get penalized when you have a girl at 0 morale whatsoever and still fighting.
However...
yeah. It's just the game saying, yeah, give them a break. They've been fighting for a while. You only usually see that after you clear 3 or 4 maps in quick succession, like during an event.
Yeah. And even then, like, if you're doing it over the course of a day, you know, like with proper breaks, you will not see that, because they do recover morale naturally.
Yeah, the morale recovery mechanic is pretty well known at this point. It's fully detailed in the wiki, but the long and short of it is that outside of the dormitory, or the second floor of the dormitory, a typical girl will recover about 40 morale per hour. In the dormitory, they will recover 50 morale per hour, and if they are married, they recover 60 morale per hour.
And my current wives, because they gave us a second ring for the 2nd anniversary, and fuck this bug. I'm glad it's mostly gone.
It's It's one of those things that happens on occasion because of BlueStacks, but, well, on the flip side, some people's phones just absolutely hate this game, so...
Yeah. That bug actually happens a lot less, a lot more rarely now.
Yeah, again, while the... I've mentioned this in the Discord, but while the developers of Azur Lane do not officially endorse emulator programs like BlueStacks, they don't actively go out of their way to sabotage them either, so that allows the people behind BlueStacks to take their time and ensure that the game is going to be more stable upon the system.
Yeah. So yeah, 4-3. 4-4 even.
Yep, finish off 4-3, start right into 4-4, it looks like. Yep, War of Vengeance. And before I was so rudely interrupted by life happening, I started discussing the submarines popping up in the story maps.
Yeah, so we're retreading commentary here, but basically, subs are squishy. At least at this stage.
Squishy. Yeah, and of course, well, Jamie's subs have all of the equipment of a Rob Babs.
Yeah, because sub equipment is actually kind of tough to get.
Yeah, it's an incredible pain in the ass to really well equip your subs, but the rewards when you finally manage to do so is well worth the effort, in my opinion. A lot of people will disagree with me on that, and that's okay. That's their opinion, I don't mind.
Yeah.
The end result is that when you have a sub fully geared out, they are basically going to create an absolute wall of torpedoes very early on and just clear out the first wave and a half for you.
They are also, many of them will also fire a second one. Now, note that just like your ships, the subs won't recover health.
Yep. However, subs do not count against an S rank of a mission if you happen to inadvertently lose one.
Like we're probably going to do here, because they stick around for what is it, a few seconds after surfacing?
About 5 seconds after surfacing, yeah.
During which, if you aren't intercepting torpedoes with your face...
Which happens fairly... because this is Jamie we're talking about.
The other thing is that I was going to be talking about a thing which subs do you mostly turn off, as I understand.
Yes, as you can see, when Jamie was moving his fleet around, his little sub-fleet is tagging along behind him to try and attack the shipping within its little hunting range, which is highlighted by the red squares on the map. I personally turn that off because what it does in game mechanics is it reduces the entire enemy fleet's health by a percentage. If I recall correctly, 3 subs will reduce the enemy fleet's health by 15%. At max. And it will cause essentially an armor break effect, so enemies take more damage per shot. What I personally do, because, well, this is what gives your subs actual experience, is I call them into the actual fights.
Yeah. That basically is the pros and cons right there. What I tend to personally do is race them to the enemy, even in events.
Originally, when subs are first introduced, you could not redeploy them on the map, so you could move their hunting range about, because as long as you're attacking a fleet within their overall hunting range, you can call them in to help assist on the attack. In this case, that level 44 battleship fleet is about to have a bad day, even if Jamie doesn't call in the subs, even though he really should.
He will, and the subs may or may not die.
Yeah, because, I mean, they're what, level 2, level 3?
Level 10.
So they still only have less than 1,000 hit points each.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we saw them take a beating in the very first map.
Yeah, it was a light tap more than anything.
What was it? A pair of shells for one, and a torpedo for the other.
Yeah, and honestly, when you think about it, considering the fact that usually a sub being hit by a torpedo is a death sentence, the fact that these subs are tough enough to take a torpedo is, well, yeah, pretty good.
And later on, they'll take a lot of torpedoes. In fact...
Yeah. And they'll dodge shit, too.
They'll dodge shit, and they'll have better all-out assaults, and sometimes you will curse them for being MVP-stealing little fucks.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're worth it because they are absolutely adorable little shits, and I wouldn't have them any other way.
And on top of that, they will seriously help you against boss fights.
And, well, the most recent event in-game, the Shares of Iron and Blood, which just came out earlier this month, actually, as part of the second anniversary celebrations for the game's release in North America.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is very much Bismarck's story, but it is just as much the story of a humble submarine that happened to have been, well, essentially sisters in the slipway. She was built right next to Bismarck.
Yeah. We'll eventually be getting to that.
Yeah.
There is a reason for my YouTube channel.
Yes, there's many tragedies in war, and honestly, my grandparents are, or were at this point, German. My maternal grandfather actually served in the Kriegsmarine because he wanted nothing to do with the Nazi Party, and he had a great many friends actually serve on the Bismarck, and of those great many friends that he had, about 250 were actually aboard the Bismarck during her final voyage, and none of them survived.
Yeah. And this, funnily enough, relates to a discussion we had in the Discord with other players. Because there was this perception that the shares event glorified, whereas it really doesn't. Humanize, yes, the Ironblood is humanized in this, but I don't think there's any storyline that lionizes them.
No, they are either portrayed as flawed, sometimes villainous, up to their own agendas, but never lionized. I don't think there's actually any lionization going on for any of the major factions. It's very much a matter of war is hell, the people on the front lines are stuck in the worst form of hell, and the least we can do is remember the sacrifices of the ones who passed, regardless of their homeland or their beliefs, because when it comes down to it, if someone is willing to die for what they know in their heart to be a cause, like, as an example, again, looking at the German ships, the Kriegsmarine was specifically made up of, quote, the old guard. They were made up of people who served in the Imperial German Navy of World War I, when the Kaiser was still top dog. They served in the Reichsmarine of Weimar Germany from 1929 to 1933, also High Belfast moves. And when it comes down to it, those people, the people who willingly fought for their country because they believed that their country had gotten a raw deal or was just a matter of defending their homeland in the case of the vast majority of the European conflict in World War II was, well, defending against German aggression, for lack of a better term. It's very much you want to remember those people, the people who fought and bled and died, not for an ideology, but for the willingness to protect civilians, to protect the people that they grew up with, to protect their families, and I will not begrudge that, regardless of country of origin, because it's human.
Yeah.
And that is what I think Azur Lane celebrates, in as silly as a way as it is, because it's very much a game about cute girls doing cute things and throwing out a few billion shells downrange. It very much is still about the human cost of war, and trying to relate that cost to people who have never experienced it. It's been 75 years since the end of World War II. None of us will ever see a conflict like that in our lives, I sincerely hope.
Yep.
And when it comes down to it, that is probably the most important thing this game can offer people, is just encouraging them to see the history of what was fought for and why. And the why is so vastly important. Hollywood will never tell you why something happened. It will just go, rah, rah, America saves the day. Which isn't always true.
Yeah.
No? So, that's my rant. And I'm sorry for rambling. It's just been an incredibly stressful time lately.
No, it was a thing that needed to be said about it. And it got something off your chest too. So, yeah, I've been doing something very stupid in the meantime.
Yeah, I've noticed you getting your shit kicked in.
Yeah, that's because I've taken on 2 large fleets now with zero ammo. Yeah.
You haven't lost anyone yet, which is a good start, though.
Yeah, there's just these 2 bomb ships left. And then, hopefully, I can't remember if I did, I will say, fuck that, I've gotten enough safety. By the way, do not expect to fill out your submarine fleet soon.
Yeah, submarines are, for lack of a better term, they are only in special construction, which they share with fleet carriers and such. And because of their unique timestamps of less than 20 minutes per build, they're absolute bastards to get.
I've somehow managed to fill out 2 fleets, and I've gotten spares due to events, but that's taken a while.
I mean, in my case, I can proudly gloat that I have every submarine in the game, but that's because I have been playing since open beta started. So, again, it's just very much a matter of time and effort spent.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there's one in the current event, the Scherzo event, that's, let me double check here, 11 minutes.
Yes, and
U-73.
then, yeah, U-73 is actually notable because she actually killed one of the carriers from the previous event.
Oh.
Yeah, U-73 put a torpedo into Eagle's side.
So, yeah. I believe we're going to be done after this. By the way, submarines in campaign maps is not as common as I would like.
Yeah, it's specifically tied to how far you've gotten in campaign maps. As shown on 4.4, it will only show up on 4.4, but by, if I recall correctly, map 11, they will show up on every map stage. So 11.1, 11.2, 11.3, 11.4.
Yeah, it becomes more common as time goes on, but you will sometimes see most of, if not an entire chapter, without subs.
Also, do not expect hard mode submarine assistance as much as you would want them. Because, I mean, just U-81 alone, when she's level capped, has 555 natural torpedo power. That shit's obscene.
I look forward to that day. I mean, they're already at something like 87 now.
It just keeps on going. They just escalate.
Yeah. Ah. Poor Fortune, she's such a crybaby.
The funny thing about Fortune is that if you actually put her in the front lines, her battle cry is very much, "Now you face the wrath of God!" And she's just so adorably squeaky about it.
Yeah. It's
So yeah.
kind of hard to take Fortune seriously, to be honest.
I mean, let's put it this way, after she got turned over to the Canadian Navy, she got renamed Saskatchewan, so kind of feel bad for her, because Saskatchewan's kind of flat. She's actually named after the river, not the province.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a scientific study about 15 years ago that showed that the province of Saskatchewan is physically flatter than a pancake.
Not many places
Which is
that flat.
Which is where the running joke of the province being so flat you can watch your dog run away from home for a week came from. I mean, you can say the same of Kansas except for all the cornfields.
Yeah. So after this, probably a ways after this, will be Visitors Dine in Red.
And I like VDIR because it is very much a heavy plot point in the game's world. So we'll see what happens.
Yep. And we'll also have the treat for you on our first set of character stories in the thread.
And the character stories are absolutely adorable. They are they're basically made to be soft and fluffy and gentle things in between the carnage and mayhem and depression of war, so I like it.
Also, occasionally it's hella gay. Literally,
Occasionally. I mean, let's be fair, the only reason why ship girls are not all confirmed to be completely lesbian is because we have no idea what the commander's gender is.
Yeah, is referred to he a few times, but personally I say bullshit.
Yeah, essentially the best way to describe the commander is the player's stand-in, and that includes the player's gender if need be.
I refuse to provide further comment at this time.
Well, besides, you're having fun giving Shokaku the spanking she actually earned at the start of the Solomon's campaign.
Gucci gang.
Well, she gets revenge on Enterprise's little sister in World 5.
Well, this has been Jamie the D.
And this has been the Salted Grump.
Take care of yourselves, everyone.
Have a good evening.
We have one last thing. Research.
Research is always good.
Yeah.
Except for that reward. That was a crap reward.
That was a crap reward. I think I just left this in to show research. Oh wait, no, it was to check St. Louis XP. Well,
Got a ways to go.
See ya.